The first game of the New York Giants era is in the books.
We're still in training camp mode right now. We didn't do much to prepare for Miami. It was all about us, and we wanted to throw guys into the fire and see how they responded.
The rookies made an immediate impact.
I'm just out there every time trying to dominate the player across from me and let him know that he's going to have a long day.
I feel like I just add another weapon.
So now it's 3rd and 6 for the Giants. What a sliding catch made by Shepard.
I turn it on 3rd down. I love 3rd down.
The veterans stood strong.
Tannehill under pressure, chased by JPP and just shovels it away. Olivier Vernon also on the pressure.
This is what they paid for when they got Olivier Vernon.
But there's still work to be done.
And the pass intercepted.
The evaluation process moves forward.
Time, tick-tock, here we go!
It continues today as Big Blue takes another step towards putting it all together.
And New York Giants preseason football is on the air. It's preseason game number 2 from New Era Field in Orchard Park, New York, as the New York Football Giants take on the Buffalo Bills. Hello again, everyone. So glad you can join us. I'm Bob Papa in the New York Presbyterian broadcast booth. Amazing things happening here. Preseason game number 2 for Ben McAdoo and his staff. What are the Giants looking to accomplish in this game? See progress, especially from the draft picks and younger players following last week's preseason opener. And the coach will also get a chance to look at his Pro Bowl quarterback. Eli Manning will make the start this afternoon and play for the first time in the preseason. And he's got his favorite target, Odell Beckham Jr., ready to go in today's preseason game. And I've got 2-time Super Bowl champion Carl Banks by my side. And Carl, a lot to learn from last week, but this is an important next step in the maturation process for this team.
Well, it is. It's building on what they didn't do well last week and then building on what they did do well more. So they are going to evaluate, moving towards day one.
Competition is starting to get thick on this roster for certain position groups, and one of the areas that we've focused on is the offensive line. We've talked a lot about the right side, but Coach McAdoo told us yesterday he's a little concerned about the left side.
Well, yeah, the fans were justifiably upset that nothing happened on the right side of the line in free agency or the draft, but they're counting on Eric Flowers to wake up and start to show more energy at the right side, at the left side.
Yeah, and Rashad Jennings is getting an opportunity to run the football a little bit more, and he's going to want to get those first-team backs in there and establish that point of physicality with this offensive line as far as running the football and protecting the quarterback here against the Buffalo Bills that bring you a very diverse front with Rex Ryan and his complex blitz scheme. We're set for the Giants and Bills. It's time for today's national anthem.
Can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regulate, the bombs bursting in air, yea, proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Rare afternoon preseason game, Giants and Buffalo Bills. There's Giants head coach Ben McAdoo. A short time ago, the head coach of the New York Giants had a chance to speak with Howard Cross.
Thank you, Coach McAdoo, for coming out again tonight and talking to us. Hey, last week you had some ups and downs. What would you like to see your team improve upon?
Well, we got to take care of the ball first and foremost. That's number one. Take care of the Duke. Got to tackle a little bit better. We got to block a little bit better. Be better in the pocket, both on the offense and defensive side of the ball.
Tonight you got a few different players who are going to get a little more burn. Is it somebody we should be watching for?
Looking forward to see Bobby Hart playing some left guard for us. He'll get a chance to work with the first unit. and we'll get Eli and Odell out there early on too.
You mentioned Eli. I know Eli and Beckham's both going to be in the game tonight. What should we expect from them?
They're excited. We're going to get them in the game, get them a little taste of playing tackle football here again. It's not in practice, so we'll see them early.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, from Ben McAdoo to the other sideline, Rex Ryan in his second year as head coach of the Buffalo Bills. Disappointing year last year. Lots of expectations going into last season. They finished 8-8, and this offseason has not been pleasant for the Buffalo Bills. They've had a lot of off-field issues. They've had injuries that they've had to deal with. Shaq Lawson, first-round draft pick out of Clemson, injured. Carlos Williams suspended for the first 4 games of the season. Reggie Ragland also injured. And then you have Manny Lawson, subject of an NFL investigation. Marcel Darius suspended for the first 4 games of the season. And even more news today when it was announced that the Buffalo Bills have cut Carlos Williams, who was facing a 4-game suspension, came into the offseason out of shape, came into training camp out of shape, lost the weight, started putting it back on. He's also had some issues off the field. And for Rex Ryan to get rid of you, who's a pretty tolerant guy, you know that Buffalo had had enough. And then it was announced about an hour and a half ago that Marcel Darius, who's facing that 4-game suspension, is going to voluntarily check into a rehabilitation center to try to get his life in order. So lots of things going on for Buffalo. Josh Brown's going to kick off for the Giants. He was informed earlier this week that he'll be suspended for the first game of the season by the National Football League for violating the personal conduct policy. He exhausted all the appeals processes from an incident that happened in May of 2015. He reported the incident to the Giants. They reported the incident to the NFL. Investigations ensued over the last year. And the Giants organization says they support the league's decision based on the investigations of the 1-game suspension. Josh Brown said although he disagreed with it, it is what it is as far as having to deal with the 1-game suspension. Reggie Bush, newly signed by the Buffalo Bills, back deep to receive the kickoff from Josh Brown to get this game underway. We're going to see some kicker Tom Obarski today, Carl, because they got to see what he can do, a young undrafted free agent kicker, knowing that you're not going to have Josh Brown for week 1.
Well, it's a great audition for him, and also when Josh comes back, maybe he can put enough on film to be able to pick up a job outside of the Giants. Big opportunity.
Reggie Bush in his 11th year out of USC, former first-round draft pick of the New Orleans Saints, spent time in Miami and in Detroit. He'll get the first touch here this afternoon. And he'll take a knee, so Buffalo will start at their own 25-yard line with the new touchback rules. Let's take a look at the Giants starting lineups presented by Wendy's, the official hamburger restaurant of the Giants. Jason Pierre-Paul and Olivier Vernon, very impactful last week against Miami up front. Kelvin Shepard has earned playing time as the starting middle linebacker. Last year for Miami in 13 starts, he had 102 tackles, and everybody's watching the safeties, Landon Collins and Darian Thompson. Thompson, the rookie, has looked good so far in the preseason. LaShawn McCoy, the tailback, behind Tyrod Taylor on 1st and 10 for Buffalo. McCoy picks up about 4 on 1st down. Jonathan Casillas got a hit on him and got him to the ground. Tyrod Taylor, in his 6th year out of Virginia Tech, acquired as a free agent from Baltimore last year, 64% last season, with 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. And he also ran for nearly 600 yards and scored 4 touchdowns on the ground. Put some life into this franchise. A franchise that has not made the postseason since 1999, the longest drought in the NFL. Reggie Bush gets cut down nicely by the rookie, Darian Thompson. Loss of 7. So Darian Thompson coming off the edge, and Carl just cut right in there nicely.
Yeah, and that's what you keep leverage on the football. Young safeties often chase something that they don't see. It was a great job by him of maintaining leverage and setting the edge.
Giants have brought in their nickel package. Owa Odigizua in as one of the pass rushers. Keenan Robinson also in the game as a nickel linebacker on this 3rd and long. Taylor chased by Owa Odigizua out of the pocket, and then he's got to slide down to safety. So Odigizua, who had a couple sacks last week, Carl, gets penetration and busts up the play.
Yeah, when you look at this, the pass rush, it starts with the safety being physical right there off the line of scrimmage on the slot. So now the quarterback has nowhere to go with it, slides down.
Good pressure by Odigizua. Good coverage out of the slot. Buffalo goes 3 and out, and they'll have to punt. Colton Schmidt sends it to Dwayne Harris from his own 32. Harris immediately draws contact and gets tackled at the 38. 47-yard punt, 8-yard return. Starting lineup presented by Wendy's. Take a look at Eli Manning as he comes onto the field to lead the Giants offense. His first action so far here in the preseason. Did not play last week. Eli Manning earning his 4th Pro Bowl spot last year with those 35 touchdowns and 14 interceptions. Set the Giants starting offensive line. Justin Pugh not in at left guard. Bobby Hart gets the start at the left guard spot. Will Tye in the H-back. Rashad Jennings nowhere to run into the teeth of the defense. Starting lineup brought to you by Wendy's, the official hamburger restaurant of the Giants. And here's how it looks from left to right. Eric Flowers, Bobby Hart, Weston Richburg, John Jerry, and Marshall Newhouse. Saw Rashad Jennings get the carry. Odell Beckham Jr. playing for the first time here in this preseason. 2nd and 10. Jennings again draws contact behind the line and gets hit immediately. That's a loss of a yard. Buffalo does not have Marcel Darius, Shaq Lawson. They got a bunch of guys that are out, but Carl, the Giants not able to move the line of scrimmage at all.
Yeah, well, you had Will Tye and Marshall Newhouse having a conversation as to whose guy is it that they were supposed to block, and neither guy blocked him.
So that sets up a 3rd and long, 3rd and 11. Odell Beckham Jr. split to the bottom of your screen. Vereen in the game. Odell Beckham Jr. makes the catch. He's got the first down in the Bills' territory and finally wrestled down at the Buffalo 41-yard line by Duke Williams. Gain of 23.
Beckham, they just let him free release off the line of scrimmage. You can't give him that much. Can't give him that much space. Throw in the catch after the run. Run after the catch.
And quickly the Giants huddle up at the Buffalo 42. Vereen nowhere to run. Jerry Hughes, the 7th-year linebacker out of TCU, has busted up about 3 running plays, Carl, as we take a look at Buffalo defensively.
Yeah, that was a complete no-hitter by Larry Donnell, the tight end there.
Secondary aggressive with Darby and Gilmore at the corners. Corey Graham, a Buffalo native, one of the safeties. 2nd and 11 at the Buffalo 43. Giants' first offensive possession. Manning with time. Will Tye makes the catch. Dragged down at the 38-yard line. And Carl, we talked about setting the edge by the tight end.
Right there, tight end. You can see a no-hitter. He didn't hit anyone. That's the 2nd time he'll get his quarterback and his running back killed on that. That was as simple as it gets, too. Block the guy in front of you.
3rd and 7. At the Buffalo 39 for the Giants. Manning takes the snap, all kinds of motion on the line. False start against the Giants.
You know, the interesting thing about
number
this, Bob,
77 offense. 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
John Jerry called for the penalty.
Buffalo normally sends a lot of guys and mill around. They were just standing there. There was no reason for the Giants to jump.
So Manning will work out of a shotgun set now on this 3rd and 12 from the Buffalo 44. Tye, the man in motion. Tye with the reception, fighting for the first down, and then Duke Williams shoulders him down at the 35 after a gain of 9. Giants are going to go for it here on 4th down. Want to get snaps in for your quarterback and your frontline guys.
Something you can't simulate in practice either.
Odell Beckham Jr., the motion man at the top of your screen on a 4th and 3. Pass protection's good. Manning can't find Odell Beckham Jr. Overthrew him just a little bit. Don't know if Stephon Gilmore had a little tug on the jersey.
Yeah, just take a look. He beats him off, double move, got twisted up a bit. Maybe that, can't tell if he was pulled behind or not, but Eli overthrew it a bit.
Eli thought maybe there'd be a flag, so the Giants don't convert the 4th and 3. Turn it over on downs. No score in the first. Giants preseason football is brought to you by Bigelow. Family tea blenders since 1945. And today's weather report is brought to you by Bigelow. Maybe throw a little ice in that tea. 87 degrees, 51% humidity. There is a chance of rain in the forecast. Odell Beckham Jr. had a 23-yard catch and run on that opening series. Giants failed to convert on a 4th and 3. Giant defense held the Bills to a 3-and-out on their first possession. Leon Hall in the game is a nickel back for the Giants. He wears number 25. Little end around for Marquise Goodwin, and the Giants have it diagnosed nicely. And Jonathan Casillas, who's having a good camp in preseason, runs him out for a loss of 4.
Jonathan Casillas has really emerged as the guy that they want. Here he is here. He's a run and hit guy, run and hit linebacker. Doesn't get fooled by the misdirection, gets right upfield, and you can see his open field speed there.
Casillas from New Brunswick High School in New Jersey in his 8th year out of Wisconsin. Bills' 4 plays have had 3 of them lose yardage. 2nd and 14. Taylor to McCoy, and he's tackled right away by Devon Kennard, limiting the gain to just 5. Good awareness by Kennard in the pass game.
Yeah, linebackers seem to be very disciplined and assignment-oriented. They've really been in the right place at the right time, not giving up leverage on the football at all so far.
Keenan Robinson, signed as a free agent from Washington, is in the game as in one of the nickel linebackers. We saw Owa Odigizua on the last series get pressure on the quarterback. Giants are showing blitz here. 3rd and 9 for Buffalo. To bring corner blitz. Janoris Jenkins got spun around by Taylor, and he's got a man downfield and complete to Charles Clay. Down at the 5. Beat Keenan Robinson downfield.
Jenkins comes off the side, the right side there, completely misses. I just talked about leverage, and then you get your guys in coverage when the quarterback can scramble. Linebacker loses him, and that's the scramble drill there. The receiver always knows to go deep when the quarterback is on the run.
Keenan Robinson got beat deep. Janoris Jenkins missed on the blitz. And now the Giants are late getting personnel, and so they're going to call a timeout. So Buffalo, which had done absolutely nothing offensively, hits on a 59-yard pass play on a 3rd and 9. Charles Clay with a big grab, setting up a 1st and goal. Giants preseason football is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Kia dealers. Announcing the Kia Top Quality Sales Event. Visit TriStateKiaDealers.com to learn more. Carl Banks' keys to the game are brought to you by Kia.
Well, the keys to the game here, Bob, are number 1, you got to have deep pockets when you're the offense. You want your quarterback to be able to step up, give him a big, deep, clean pocket. Second, they've got to own the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball. Coach talked about they want to own the line of scrimmage. And thirdly, keep an eye on the middle linebackers, the man in the middle. Brinkley is a guy who's battling Shepard.
1st and goal from the 4. McCoy picks up a yard or 2. Nice job by Jasper Brinkley, number 53, who dove underneath Carl to cut him down.
Yeah, he's their guy, and they like him a lot because he knows how to play the run. He's a 2-down linebacker, but he's in the battle now with Kelvin Shepard.
Brinkley was signed last year and appeared in 15 games with 9 starts for the Giants.
Very reliable linebacker.
2nd and goal, McCoy the tailback. Taylor always a threat to run. Got Woods in a slot left. Taylor under pressure from Vernon. He's going to run it, and he's not going to get in. Casillas and Landon Collins closed fast.
Yeah, there's just good coverage all around there, and there's no one open. The quarterback had to get rid of the football because in the red area they don't have a lot of room to move. And there's the quarterback, scrambles out because there's no one to throw the ball to.
Number 62 reports as an eligible receiver. Number 62 is eligible.
Eli Manning, a couple passes on that first series. Giants failed to convert on a 4th and 3. 3rd and goal for Buffalo. Chris Martin, number 62, is in as a tackle eligible for Buffalo. Williams and Felton, the tailbacks. Taylor's going to throw. Felton fights and gets in. Lost the football, though, but did he break the plane? Nope, they're ruling it a touchback. It's ruled a touchback. He never broke the plane.
Recovered in the end zone by the
And
Giants.
recovered by
Touchdown,
Damon
10 on
Snacks
the 20.
Harrison. Probably take a look at it again. Yep, Landon Collins threw his shoulder in there and knocked it out, and Snacks gets a snack in the end zone.
Yeah, and that's good hustle from the guys on the inside interior of the defense.
No score here in the first in Buffalo. Giants preseason football is brought to you by Toyota. The annual clearance event is going on now. Toyota, let's go places. So we take a look at the Toyota player comparison. Eli Manning and Tyrod Taylor. Eli Manning, 35 touchdown passes last year, 14 interceptions. Manning, 3 of 4 on the opening drive for 36 yards. The Giants got it into Buffalo territory, but could not convert a 4th and 3. So the Giant defense comes up big. Landon Collins forcing the fumble on Felton, resulting in the Giants possession at the 20. Rashad Jennings steps out and gets a yard. All right, Carl. Kelvin Shepard misses the tackle, but Landon Collins picks up his teammate.
Look where Collins comes from the outside in. That's what you call keeping leverage. And then you see Harrison coming from the inside out to make a play on the ball when it's fumbled.
On that last play, Eric Flowers was called for a holding penalty, so Buffalo will march the Giants back 10 yards. So it's 1st and 20 for the Giants. Jennings, nowhere to go. You said in your key of keys to the game, controlling the line of scrimmage. Giants have done a good job defensively controlling the line of scrimmage, but they have not been able to run. Carl, we'll go back to the big 59-yard pass play to Charles Clay.
Yeah, you'll see here the middle linebacker is in a chase, but once the quarterback starts moving, receiver goes deep and the ball goes deep. So when you're playing linebacker, you have to know the scramble rules of offensive players.
Manning under some pressure. Zips one over the middle of the pass, incomplete, intended for Kelvin Shepard. And Seymour on the coverage, and that'll set up 3rd and long for the Giants. Carl, you talked about leverage on that Janoris Jenkins blitz. What did he do wrong on that play?
Well, when you're blitzing from the outside, you've got to go for the upfield shoulder. He went where the quarterback was. Quarterback stepped back. Once you go for the upfield shoulder, it forces the quarterback to step into your rush and not outside of it and escape.
3rd and 19 for the Giants. From their own 11. Jennings on the draw, picks his way up the middle, fights ahead to the 22, knocked down at the 23. It's a gain of 12, but the Giants love to punt the football away.
Giants struggling running the football here.
And Carl, that's a big concern when you look at this offensive line with Flowers. You've got Hart in at left guard, Richburg at center, Jerry and Newhouse. They have not been able to get any kind of run game going so far.
Yeah, they've got to get that going because 3rd down draws, everybody predict those that at some point they'll concede to 6 yards as opposed to 15.
Brad Wing will punt it to Reggie Bush. Bush from his own 29. Can't skip past a host of Giant defenders. Mark Herzlich down there to make the tackle for the Giants. No score here in the first. from Orchard Park, New York, Giants and Bills. Local and primetime games on NFL Mobile, including only on Verizon, the official wireless partner of the New York Giants. Better matters. Back in Orchard Park, New York, no score. Buffalo on their third offensive possession. Other than the 59-yard pass play on that busted play, the Giant defense has won at the point of attack. They forced a fumble with Buffalo going in. They've gotten pressure on the quarterback. They haven't allowed the Bills to run the football. So a lot of positives out of this new-look Giants defense. Melvin Shepard in at middle linebacker right now for the Giants. Hankins and Harrison remain the defensive tackles. Taylor to throw, clean pocket. Taylor has it knocked away. Dominic Rogers, Cromartie all over it. Intended for Marquise Goodwin. Sideline report brought to you by New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Howard Cross, Giants not able to get anything going with the run game.
No, it's been tough in the run game. One of the things we've been talking about with the coach was the tight ends. And what we've seen with the tight ends so far, they've caught the ball very well, but they're having a hard time blocking. Somehow, some way, one of these guys could make this team just by being a blocker.
We saw Donnell miss on 2 blocks on a previous possession. 2nd and 10. McCoy nowhere to run, and that's one of the areas why the Giants signed Damon Snacks Harrison. There he is, number 98, the former Jet. He's going to come out of the game, but last year, Carl, the Giants were very susceptible to the run game up the middle, and they went out and they took care of business with Snacks.
They certainly did, and they got Jonathan Hankins back. Those are 2 big and movable objects, and one guy can move laterally really good, and that's Snacks.
Comes out in a pass rushing situation. 3rd and 10. Bills have 6 runs for -4 yards. Taylor feels some late pressure from JPP, chased by Ola Odigizua, and then Dominic Rogers Cromartie shoulders him out of bounds. It's a flag on the play as well, and that's in the vicinity of offensive holding.
Yeah, both ends were having a tough time getting around the edge.
Face mask, number 71 of the offense.
Cyrus Kawanjo called for face mask.
Still 3rd down.
There's Vernon there. He gets the edge and head goes down. They're going to call it every time. Coverage is down the field. Still good coverage, nowhere to go. The quarterback had plenty of time. There's Rogers reading the route. Great break on the football as well. And there's Jenkins. He falls down a bit. Quarterback had more time and more vision. Maybe he could have got that one.
Kawanjo in his 2nd year. A 3rd year out of Alabama, 2nd round draft pick. Cordy Glenn, who signed a big contract this offseason, not playing today, the outstanding left tackle for Buffalo. So it'll be 3rd and 25. McCoy, the tailback. They double team Olivier Vernon this time. McCoy gets around Casillas, hit by Jenkins, and then dropped at the 32-yard line, short of the 1st down, gain of 15.
Yeah, they doubled both the pass rushers on the outside and just got McCoy in space there, and he'll make anybody miss, but they had good team concept tackling to keep him short of the marker.
Odigizua having a good start to his 2nd year in the National Football League, very active. Schmidt to punt. Harris back deep for the Giants. Harris signals for a fair catch on the run at the 30. The Giant defense has given up 1 big play, but when they needed to make a play, Landon Collins forcing the fumble at the goal line, recovered by Snacks in the end zone. Defensive coordinator Steve Spagnuolo liking what he's seeing. Season football is brought to you in part by MetLife, the official insurance company of the Giants. And by Pepsi, the official soft drink of the Giants. A lot of Giant fans here, and you see Rashad Jennings crawl on that draw play, and trainers were looking at his right knee. It looks like one of the defenders fell on his right ankle as well, and he kind of hobbled off a little bit.
Yeah, he just kind of got twisted up in the pile.
Giants will start from their own 30-yard line. Andre Williams now in at tailback. Offensive line remains the same. Williams bounces his way through some traffic for about 2, and there's a flag on the play as well.
holding offense, number 70. 10-yard penalty.
Weston
Still
Richburg
first
called
down.
for the penalty. Howard, Larry Donnell's having a rough day blocking.
You know, Coach said before the game he doesn't like to mention guys, kind of the kiss of death. Larry Donnell just whiffed. I mean, literally the guy jumped, didn't even touch the guy.
That's the third time that he has completely missed Jerry Hughes. Literally just missed him.
At point-blank range, too.
So it's 1st and 20. Williams trying to bounce it off the left side, and it's a hard 5. Giants fans, it's your opportunity to be part of the tradition, become a New York Giants season ticket holder, and experience the excitement of New York Giants football. To become a season ticket holder, call 201-935-5610. Go to Giants.com for more information. Shane Vereen in the ball game to the left of Eli Manning. Odell Beckham Jr. had a 22-yard catch on the opening possession. And Odell Beckham Jr. couldn't get out of his break. That's who the pass was intended for, incomplete. He's tied up with Ronald Darby.
The Giants moved the pocket there and tried to buy Odell some time, and he couldn't get off the jam.
So 3rd and 15 for the Giants. Manning 3 of 6 for 36 yards. Vereen to the right of Manning. 3 receivers sack. And Manning's going to just go down and take the sack. He was looking for King on the slant left, and that was covered.
Yeah, Eric Flowers there gave up too much ground. There's King, there's the coverage. You come back to the coverage here. You look at Flowers on the edge. They had a little fake twist. Flowers did not keep his man outside there. He's got to use that punch. He's not punching, he's catching.
Zach Diassi, the long snapper. Brad Wing in the punt. Bills have 3 guys back, including Reggie Bush. Wing punts it in the middle of the field. Bush from his own 37. Skips his way out to about the 45-yard line. Well, one of the things that the Giants are looking for is chemistry with this defense, and it's coming together.
The group of guys that we have, and bringing in, veterans, Kelvin and Keenan, it's adding to the amount of knowledge that we had.
We get to be on the field a little bit more, get more downs in us, and get more feel for the game as a team and as a whole and as a defense.
We're just on pace to, just keep building and building that chemistry.
So far, the starting unit defensively has looked pretty good when they've been on the field, both last week against Miami and this week here against Buffalo.
Yes, they have.
McCoy jukes but slides down after a gain of 2.
The biggest challenge for an offensive coordinator and offensive line blocking schemes is when you have guys, a defense that's disciplined enough to maintain their lanes, then you're challenged to have to block individuals.
It's going to be interesting here to see how the Giants match up defensively against Buffalo as we final seconds of the first quarter tick away, because the Bills have both McCoy and Reggie Bush in the game, but we'll find out how that all unfolds when we come back to Orchard Park. After 1, Giants and Bills scoreless. Season football is brought to you by the Hess Toy Truck. The 2016 Hess Toy Truck will be back and better than ever later this year. Sign up for alerts at HessToyTruck.com so you don't miss out. And today's first quarter stats brought to you by Bob's Discount Furniture. Proud to be the official furniture store of the Giants. The Bills had 59 yards of those 77 on 1 pass play. Giants moved the ball in their first possession, but haven't done much since. Penalties and no run game at all from the Giants. We start the second quarter, no score. Second and 8 from midfield. Taylor takes a hit and completes it to Reggie Bush over the head of Jonathan Casillas. What a throw by Tyrod Taylor.
Well, you get a lot of pressure by Olivier Vernon coming around the edge. just a step away from getting to the quarterback. No, that's your safety coming, but you get man-on-man coverage. Casillas, not bad coverage, but he's got a heck of a receiver in Reggie Bush.
That goes for 32. And Buffalo has it 1st and 10 at the Giants' 18-yard line.
They're going to review this.
Yeah, did Reggie Bush get both feet in along the sideline? Head coach Ben McAdoo is going to bring referee Jeff Triplett over and say, let's take one more look at that. Take one more look at it here. Reggie Bush has it. He bobbles it. Was he out of bounds?
He never,
and then, he dropped it right there. That's
the Giants
incomplete.
are challenging the ruling on the field of the completion.
Bobbles it, and then he steps out of bounds, and then he loses the ball. That's incomplete. So Ben McAdoo should win this challenge when we come back here in Buffalo. No score in the second. Brought to you in part by your Tri-State Ford dealers. The Ford Freedom Sales Event is on. Enjoy great financing and low lease offers on select Ford vehicles. We take a look at the Ford players to watch. Ben McAdoo and the New York Giants. Jason Pierre-Paul and that defensive front have made their presence felt so far here today. Damon Harrison recovered a fumble in the end zone. Olivier Vernon has gotten good pressure. Right now everybody's watching Ben McAdoo's first challenge. It was a 32-yard catch, but he bobbles the ball right there, so he doesn't have control. Then he steps out of bounds, so he doesn't have 2 feet in, and then the ball comes out anyway. I'm trying to figure out how they ruled it a catch in the first place.
Well, and then here's the other thing. Good job by Casillas in not giving up on the play and knocking the ball out of his hands. Because he was bobbling, it makes it it makes it possible for this challenge to even happen.
Ball was at midfield. It was 2nd and 8. And we'll find out what Jeff Triplett has to say, but I think this should be coming back.
Yeah, I can't imagine him calling that a completion. Never had control of the ball, but we'll find out.
After review, the ruling on the field is reversed. The receiver bobbled the ball 1 foot inbounds. The second foot was out of bounds and knocked out immediately, so it's an incomplete pass. It'll be 3rd and 8 on the 50. Please put 14:54 back on the game clock.
So Ben McAdoo challenges the pass play and wins the challenge.
Thank you. Thank you.
What about Odighizuwa, number 58 right there? They've used him in certain packages, and he has made his presence felt so far in the first 2 preseason games.
A very active pass rusher, can rush on the inside and the outside, similar to what they did with Justin Tuck when he was here. They just want to turn him loose, don't give him a lot of responsibility, let him be as aggressive as possible.
McCoy on the check down turns it into a 25-yard play.
That's where he's most dangerous, in the open field.
Carl, where's the breakdown?
Breakdown's on the outside end. There's nobody on the outside, and the middle linebacker was too far away to squeeze him in there. Got to have leverage from the outside, forcing him back to the linebacker.
The Buffalo and Tyrod Taylor convert to 3rd and long. Taylor to throw on 1st and 10. Has some time, and then whistles a completion to Goodwin. Sliding catch at the 12. Gain of 15.
What they're doing now, they're working the Giants linebackers in pass coverage here.
Nice job by Goodwin to secure the football as he spun out of bounds.
Working underneath. Quarterback's on the run.
Clay in motion. Bush the tailback on a 1st and 10 from the 12. Nowhere to go for Reggie Bush as Landon Collins and Damon Harrison bring him down for a loss of 1. Hey, get in the fun of Instagram at NY Giants. Send the Giants an Instagram and hashtag Giants at Giants Pride. Whether you're watching at home or you're in the stadium, a chance to take part in a little bit of fun. Steve Spagnuolo in his 2nd tour of duty as defensive coordinator for the Giants. His team pinned back 2nd and 11 after 13. Taylor, incomplete, intended for Robert Woods. It was too high. Couldn't get both feet in. Robert Woods in his 4th year out of USC, a 2nd-round pick in 2013. Sammy Watkins, a talented wide receiver for Buffalo, did not dress for the game today. Giant starters on defense getting a lot of snaps. 3rd and 11. Taylor, 6 of 8 for 119 yards. Taylor gets some time. Taylor high into the end zone and threads the needle to LaShawn McCoy.
Another breakdown there by the linebackers, but that's all McCoy there, really making something out of nothing.
Carr going to get another look at it as Taylor hooks up with LaShawn McCoy.
He just comes out on a little whip route is what is out and up. Linebacker staring at the quarterback, not really expanding their zone coverage there. Got to always protect the seam.
LaShawn McCoy, who had 32 catches last year, scores on the touchdown pass from Tyrod Taylor. Jordan Gray in to try the extra point for Buffalo. And Gray knocks it through. So with 12:52 to go here in the second, Bills up 7-0. Looks like Eli's coming back for another series with the Bills in front. Season football is brought to you by Taco Bell. Get your Giants schedule cup right now at Taco Bell. Giants game time is Taco Bell time. Winning never tasted so good. Beautiful look of Niagara Falls. Bob Papa, Carl Banks, New Era Field in Buffalo. Bills with a 7-0 lead. And Carl, I guess one of the big concerns right now if you're a Giants fan is the offensive line's inability to get any kind of run game going so far in the first half against a Buffalo team that's missing a bunch of starters on defense.
Well, it's been 3rd and long for the entire game for this Giants offense, so they've got to get something positive on 1st and 2nd down. They're getting penalties or losing yards on a regular play.
Jordan Gay to kick off for Buffalo. Harris and Dark will back deep. Harris all the way to the back of the end zone will take a knee for a touchback. Working today's game is line judge Sarah Thomas in her 2nd year as a female full-time official in the National Football League. And Buffalo Bills have a full-time female assistant, Catherine Smith, quality control special teams coach. Buffalo Bills, first time full-time female coach in NFL history.
I think that's awesome.
Sarah Thomas had a good year last year on the field in her first year as an official. Manning on a 1st and 10. Throws it behind Will Tye. Rashad Jennings, I should note, is back in the game for the Giants. Good look at the Giant defense, talking things over. There's Jesse Armstead. Great linebacker for the Giants. Part of the Giants staff.
Played well.
Yeah, great player. You see number 23, Rashad Jennings in there. He had hobbled off the previous series. They'll go in motion on the 2nd and 10 and come set next to Eli. Manning completes it to King. Short of the first down by 2 yards. Tavares King.
Good release off the line of scrimmage. Doesn't give away the inside too soon, and good timing route.
3rd and 2. King was on the practice squad last year. Not open for Manning. Now he buys some time and leaves it down the right side, intended for Roger Lewis Jr., but incomplete.
Yeah, Eli wished he could take a little bit off of that ball there. He was able to move around with his feet. Hockey got cleaned out. He just had to settle himself down, make a better throw.
3 straight 3-and-outs for the Giants. Brad Wing will punt it away to Reggie Bush. Tyler Ott, the long snapper in for the Giants. Wing did not get a good piece of that one. Flag on the play as Bush bobbles it out of bounds at the 25, and we'll check the flag. 41-yard punt, no return. After a pretty good start for Eli Manning, the offense has really gotten bogged down. No running game.
Well, there's cause for concern. I mean, they've got probably one more game where they're going to play extended time and then head into opening day.
During the kick, holding, return team. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Jeff doesn't give us the number, but it's against Buffalo. Well, one of the key acquisitions this offseason was Olivier Vernon, and he loves the concept of getting a chance to work with Jason Pierre-Paul.
I'm outside looking in. You know, even when I wasn't here, you could tell. You know, he would just make plays off the field, on the field. You know, he's a respected individual on the team, man. You know, coming here, getting to know him. You know, I felt, you know, I got embraced with open arms pretty much by all the guys, and especially JPP.
Olivier Vernon embraced and loving his new role. E.J. Manuel in a quarterback for Buffalo. He's got some time, and he's got a good arm, and nearly intercepted by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie, as both he and Darian Thompson were there.
Well, good coverage there, but that was being a little greedy there. The safety was really ready to get that interception. Thompson, really good hip turn. Rodgers-Cromartie wanted it more. That was a dead interception, a sure interception by the safety there.
Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie's closing speed is awesome. Victor Cruz actually went through some pregame warm-ups and stretching in uniform, obviously not playing. 2nd and 10 for the Bills from their own 15. Manuel sacked by Olivier Vernon. That was easy for Olivier Vernon. Loss of 7.
There's Vernon on the right side of the line there. He just comes in like a blur. Nobody touched him. Made a good inside move. He splits the two offensive linemen there. Made it look easy.
E.J. Manuel, who was the first-round pick of the Bills back in 2013, lost his starting job to Tyrod Taylor. In on his first series, faces a 3rd and 16. They're going to just hand it off to Jonathan Williams, rookie 5th-round pick, and he gets hit by Olivier Vernon and dropped. Buffalo will have to punt. So that a good defensive series for the Giants. Dwayne Harris back deep. Good high punt. Harris, his own 38. Chooses the short side and gets it across midfield into Buffalo territory. 52-yard punt, 13-yard return as the Giants go back on offense, trailing here in Buffalo 7-0 in the second.
Preseason football is brought to you by NFL Ticket Exchange, the only official ticket exchange of the NFL.
Throughout the preseason this weekend, in all of week 2 preseason games, the league is using an 8th official. Scott Edwards is the middle judge, although he has field judge on his back. The league experimenting with an 8th official. Carl, I think it's a good idea when you think about the speed, the size and speed of the current athlete and how fast the game is.
Well, yeah, and they've taken what used to be the guy that stood, the referee, right behind the line of scrimmage. They've moved everybody 18 yards back, so they also need an extra set of eyes to watch the interior of the football game now.
Ryan Nassib in at quarterback for the Giants, so Eli Manning's day is done. 4 of 9 for 44 yards. Starting offensive line remains in the game. Andre Williams is the tailback behind Nassib. Williams draws heavy contact. No gain in the play. The ball popped loose, and Buffalo says they have it. And they do. I think it was Troy Bierman who knocked it out, the former Atlanta Falcon. And Branson Albright recovered it. No, Zach Brown's the one who knocked it out.
Yeah, Brown swiped at it as he was getting blocked on his way by Newhouse.
Well, Carl, there's 2 problems there. Again, absolutely no push in the run game.
Yeah.
And then Andre Williams, who's battling for one of these spots on the roster as a running back, coughs the football up. Ben McAdoo not pleased with the amount of times the ball was on the ground last week, 6 times on the ground. And now the Giants put it on the ground here and turn it over.
Well, you've got turnovers, fumbles, penalties. The offense is just not functioning very well right now.
E.J. Manuel in on his second series. Gives for McCoy. And he picks up a couple. Jasper Brinkley on the tackle. Gain of 6. Take a look at the Giants defensively. We got an injured player. We'll check on that. And the Buffalo Bills shaken up on the play. You see Damon Harrison and Jonathan Hankins, the starting defensive tackles, still in the game.
Yeah, McCoy comes through the line of scrimmage. Takes a hit as he's diving there. It's Landon Collins.
It's Gillespie. Mike Gillespie, the third-year player out of Florida.
Yeah, Collins came in and collided in his waist right around the head area.
Gillespie signed as a free agent last year in his 3rd year out of Florida. Medical staff of the Bills checking on him. And they'll take him to the locker room for observation. Right now the Giants have their starting defense still in the ball game. You got Jason Pierre-Paul and Olivier Vernon at the end. Snacks and Hankins, the defensive tackles. Thompson and Collins are the safeties. Janoris Jenkins in at one corner. Leon Hall is in at the nickelback. See Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie. So his first unit getting a lot of snaps here in the first half.
Yeah, extended work, and this is good work for them. Again, they don't get this in practice.
Leon Hall signed during training camp in his 9th year out of Michigan after spending the previous 8 years with Cincinnati. Boom Herron in a tailback. Herron takes the handoff and nowhere to really run. Giants closed on that pretty quickly, Carl.
Yeah, they did. That was a really good job there by Casillas, I believe it was. He had a lot of misdirection and he read right through it. Keenan Robinson, I'm sorry.
So 3rd and 3. Robinson and Brinkley are the linebackers in the game. The Giants are in a sub package. E.J. Manuel the throw. Pass incomplete, but I think they're going to get Leon Hall for interference or defensive holding. This will be an automatic first down. Pass was intended for Walter Powell.
Yeah, you see the contact down the field. They could have called it offense.
The defense.
But it's contact too far down.
First down.
Past the 5-yard jam.
That's an automatic first down for Buffalo. Hall will check out of the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10 at the Giants' 37-yard line. E.J. Manuel work over center. Completes it to Goodwin. Touchdown by Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie at the 29-yard line. Gain of 8. Don't forget to download the Giants mobile app to stay up to date for all the Giants news, features, and videos while you're on the go. Second and short to Buffalo. The Giants 28. Robert Woods in motion. Herron takes the handoff and he's got the first down at the Giant 25-yard line. Landon Collins on the tackle. Collins forced to fumble with Buffalo going in for a score. The second possession of the game. Rex Ryan, a lot of fanfare when he came to Buffalo last year, but Patience ran a little bit short with the Bills fans. A lot of penalties for this football team last year. Defensively, they didn't get after the quarterback the way they had in previous years. And now all kinds of off-the-field problems for the Bills heading into the season.
And he's got his work cut out for him.
Manuel has a screen set up. Heron going to make a tough catch for no gain. Emil Cujo is in the ball game. He's one of the defensive tackles for the Giants, number 76. A 6-year out of Central Oklahoma. 2nd and 10 for Buffalo at the Giants' 25-yard line with the Bills up 7 here in the second. Manuel with time, and he whistles it and completes it to Chris Gregg, the tight end at the 10. Was that pass even intended for him? Take another look at it, Carl.
Yeah, you look at the linebacker here. He's in good position. Safety should have come out. Well, no, there was Kennard should have just came in and robbed the ball there or knocked it down. He was outside in a bit of a funnel coverage. More intended for the linebacker, that pass than the tight end.
Damon Harrison checks back in the ball game for the Giants at defensive tackle. Williams, the tailback. Nowhere to go, bounces off one tackle, and Keenan Robinson wrestles him down. Landon Collins, though, made a nice play to bounce him outside.
I tell you, he's got such a good feel for the run game and where he fits. Collins is that linebacker depth there. He's at the end of the line of scrimmage, and you see he keeps the outside arm free and stringing the ball out so that he can get help from the second level.
And Keenan Robinson comes in and cleans it up, but a nice job by Landon Collins as he took on the fullback, Jerome Felton.
And important that he knows how to take it on with the right leverage. He keeps if he's the end man on the line of scrimmage, he keeps his outside arm free.
2nd and 13. Manuel on the slant. Hits the completion, a good one. Down at the 2. Gain of 12. Working on Janoris Jenkins. Carl, what's the key to stopping those quick hitting plays on the 3-step drop?
Well, when you've got a slant going, you've got to take away the inside position. But if you're an outside, you can't give up the outside, then that means you've got to have someone in place coming inside out.
Williams on the handoff, hit by Collins, but he fights ahead, and it looks like he's going to have the first down inside the 1.
That was Dominic Rogers-Cromartie out of the game here. Here's Collins again coming down. He's got such a good feel for the run game, understands it.
Number 62 reports as an
good run
eligible
fit. You call those
receiver.
good run
Number 62
fits.
is eligible.
It does set up a 1st and goal for Buffalo. Clock moving, 5:10 to go. Collins with 7 tackles and a forced fumble so far here in the first half.
And it helps when you have a good free safety behind him.
No receivers in the game. Williams on the handoff. And the near side official is ruled touchdown. Williams broke the plane. To contact from Kelvin Shepard. But he broke the plane for Buffalo's 2nd touchdown.
Shepard was a little late there. He came up, made the hit. The ball looks like it crosses the plane, but maybe not. They're going to review it.
All scoring plays are reviewed. It's interesting because he had the ball in his right arm.
Yeah.
He didn't have it in the lead arm as he went to try to break the plane. Jonathan Williams.
Another look at it.
Looking at Arkansas.
Boy, that's going to be close.
Remember,
look at the ball. The ball's not over.
We're reviewing the previous play.
Well, all you have to do, though, is break that front part of the goal line.
With the football, though.
So they'll review it with 4:54 to go here in the second. Giants, for now, down 13-0. McAdoo and the Giants on the short end of a 13-0 score. Did Jonathan Williams break the plane with the football? All scoring plays reviewed. Jeff Triplett will have the answer.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. Touchdown.
But Williams credited with the 1-yard touchdown run. All the result after the fumble by Andre Williams, and Buffalo takes it downfield and scores. Out-of-town scores brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Carolina leading Tennessee 19-10. A couple of afternoon games here in the preseason week number 2. Jordan Gay on for the extra point. Hits the right upright and no good. Giants got decent pressure, and Gay not able to convert. So the score remains 13-0 in favor of the Giants. Now coming up at halftime with all the kids playing football, a couple Giants decided to throw their hat in the ring.
This is the Victor Cruz Foundation first ever Father's Day exhibition, trying to get kids excited about football.
Or the Pew Crew summer kickoff. Basically just getting kids out here, teaching them the basic fundamentals. Go one.
So here we have the Jonathan Casillas Forward Progress Camp. I just want to be able to teach these guys this stuff. 1, 2, 3.
Tell you more about it coming up at the half. Youth football, play football month, August in the National Football League. Giants fans enjoying the Giants visit to Western New York. Giants won here last year in the regular season. Gay, who missed the extra point off the right upright, will kick it off. Darkwa and Rainey back deep for the Giants. Rainey watching the goal over his head for a touchback, so the Giants will start at their own 25-yard line. Giants have just 1 first down and none in their last 4 possessions. Mike Sullivan, looks like he's calling the plays today, the offensive coordinator. Did it last week as well. The big question here, Carl, it doesn't matter what plays he's calling. If the Giants can't run the ball and win at the point of attack, it doesn't matter what's on the sheet.
Yeah, and they've got to figure that out. You can't go into the opening game being dictated to by a defense.
Orleans Darkwa, the tailback. Nassib to throw on first down. He's chased and he has to throw it away incomplete.
And once again, Larry Donnell susceptible to the inside move. I gotta believe he's dropping his head. You'll see him. He's got a block and he comes out, sets his feet, and the guy still beats him to the inside. He's got to keep his head up. He's either closing his eyes or he's dropping his head or both.
Giants have their starting offensive line still in the game. Eric Flowers at left tackle, Bobby Hart left guard, Weston Richburg at center, Jerry and Newhouse on the right side. 2nd and 10, Nassib's pass through the hands of Miles White, incomplete. So that'll set up another 3rd and long. Little frown from Eli. The Giants with just 46 yards of offense here in the first half. And Eli threw for 36 yards on the opening drive.
Got to get some things going here. I know it's just preseason and they haven't game plan, but just the execution of the basic fundamentals are what should concern this coaching staff. When you see a tight end who's at point-blank range and gets beat on the same move, there's something wrong with that. He's got offensive lineman that's got to hold up.
3rd and 10. Nassib's going for the pit ball up top, and King in traffic makes the catch. Was he in?
Heck of an adjustment by him. Take a look. He adjusts very well. Got the ball. His feet come in.
Nope. 1 foot down, and then the backside fell out of bounds. Nice adjustment by King, but it's still an incompletion.
Yeah, and then they had at the line of scrimmage, Flowers missed his block again.
Brad Wing in the punt. Walter Powell back deep for Buffalo. Powell back at his own 24. Hit by Darian Thompson, the rookie, and dropped at the 35-yard line after a 50-yard punt. So Thompson, who looks earmarked to be one of the starting safeties, making a play on special teams as well.
And you know, he and Eli Apple were very active last week in special teams, and that was something that Coach McAdoo said he expects them to be. He says the moment is not too big for them, the game isn't too big for them, and they just go in and do what they have to do to help the football team.
Giants have subbed out their defensive front. Number 78, Romeo Okwara, rookie out of Notre Dame, is in at one of the defensive end spots. He wears number 78. Lewis Nix in the game. Coach McAdoo mentioned to us during our meeting with him yesterday he was anxious to see more of Okwara. B.J. Manuel able to complete it to the far sideline to Greg Little. And it's ruled incomplete as Little couldn't get his feet down. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Giants have subbed in personnel. Dante Dion in at one of the corners. See Mark Herzlich in at linebacker. Okwara in at one of the defensive line spots. Nat Burhay also in the ball game at safety. Quick hitter to Williams, and he bounces it out for 12.
Yeah, they got creased right up front there.
Cale Thompson finally gets him to the ground.
It's a straight ahead run. No one's there. Linebacker gets hit.
Let's check in on the sideline with Howard Cross.
Guys, this is next opportunity for these D tackles. You know, see that crease right there. They're going to need some guys to step in for Snacks and Jenkins.
Get a flag and a false start called against Buffalo.
False start. Number 19 in the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Walter Powell moved early. Yeah, there's a lot of competition going on at the defensive tackle spots and the pass rushing spots behind the starters.
You know, you got to find good quality backup players, Bob, because at any moment in the game, a guy could be out of series or he could be out for the rest of the game. You got to have a guy who can step in and really play well.
Moa Digizua in the ball game. Manuel going for the deep ball and underthrows Greg Little, who had a step on Dion.
Yeah, you'll see late in this frame here too. It's a double move, but the safety never comes over. He comes up very late to the ball, and you've got to have better play from your free safety than what Nat Burhay just showed.
Nat Burhay, number 29, in his 3rd year out of San Diego State, on IR last year with a calf injury. Played in 16 games his rookie year. Known to bring the heat as far as tackling is concerned. 2nd and 15. Miscommunication there. Flag, though, comes in from the back judge. Looks like it's going to be on the defense.
A couple flags.
Prior to the pass, holding, defense, number 25. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Leon Hall called for his 2nd hold.
Yeah, he's here in the slot. Just grabs him right there.
Carl Lewis Nix got some pressure up the middle, got a hit on the quarterback.
That's good news there. As Howard said, they need a big tackle to step up on the 2nd team.
1st and 10. Williams gets stood up at midfield and turned back. Kelvin Shepard, Keenan Robinson there to make the hit along with Cujo at the bottom of the pile. Gain of 3 with under 3 minutes to go here in the first half, and the Bills in front 13-0. Both teams have had a rough time running the football. The Giants with 11 rushing yards, the Bills with 22. Second and 7. Manuel with time. Dumped it down to Williams. And Williams near the first down. And Carl again, poor pursuit to the football. Looked like the Giants had him squared up.
Yep.
And Williams got through.
Bad angle when you look at your linebacker coming on the inside out.
Keenan Robinson.
Yeah, he overruns it. He can't overrun it. He's got to be the inside guy. And they just funnel the ball carrier into each other.
And Carl, Mikael Thompson got hit by his own teammate as they came flying in. And he got shaken up. Shepard's got him around the waist. Nix comes in, and Lewis Nix actually hits his own man.
Yeah, he wanted his pound of flesh, but he got the wrong brand.
Thompson getting hit by a guy that outweighs him by about 140 pounds.
Yeah. You cut on the film, you want to see your big guys running to the football when it's outside the numbers. You don't want them hitting their own players.
No real issues with those guys. Jason Pierre-Paul, Jonathan Hankins, and Damon Snacks Harrison. It's who's going to fill in behind them.
Yeah.
And Olivier Vernon, you throw him in the mix. Thompson, check that on the sideline. So Justin Curry has come into the ball game at safety for the Giants. The medical staff will look at Thompson. And that'll take us down to the 2-minute warning. No other play needs to be run. Buffalo will face a 3rd and 1 in front, 13-0 with 2 minutes to go here in the first half from Orchard Park, New York. Season football is brought to you by the Hess Toy Truck. The 2016 Hess Toy Truck will be back and better than ever later this year. Sign up for alerts at HessToyTruck.com so you don't miss out. Mikael Thompson taken to the locker room, got hit by his own teammate Lewis Nix. Thompson missed all of last season with an injured right Achilles. Spent the year on IR. They'll take him back to the locker room for observation. Buffalo Bills have controlled the football 37 plays to 20. E.J. Manuel's going to keep it on a 3rd and short, and he's got enough for the first down. Buffalo with all 3 timeouts remaining.
Let's see if they get into their true 2-minute offense here.
Montori Hughes in the ball game, one of the defensive line spots for the Giants.
Oh, they're being very methodical, Buffalo.
On a 1st and 10. Williams in the flat, grabbed by Robinson, and now a flag comes in late. It's another hold against the Giants. That's the preliminary call, or face mask. Keenan Robinson grabbed him by the face mask.
Number 91 in the defense. 15 yards.
They call it on Kelvin Shepard.
Yeah.
First down.
Lots of penalties here for this Giant team, both offense and
Correction
defense.
on the number 57.
6 penalty.
Yeah, it's on 57. It's on Keenan Robinson. So it has not been, Carl, a good performance by Keenan Robinson. He got beat deep on the scramble play. Missed a couple tackles, now gets called for a face mask.
Fundamental breakdowns.
Manuel with time completes it underneath to Greg Little. Trevin Wade makes the tackle, limiting the gain to 4. Approaching 1 minute to go in the first half. The Bills up 13-0. James Wilder Jr. in a tailback. Manuel goes up top. And the pass intended for Jarrett Boykin, incomplete. Trevin Wade on the coverage.
Yeah, Wade's pushing him outside, but the receiver was expecting a back shoulder throw instead of a fade.
That stops the clock with 47 seconds to go here in the half. And the Bills up 13-0, trying to add to that lead. Face a 3rd and 6 at the Giants' 19. E.J. Manuel 7 of 10 for 50 yards. He's engineered a scoring drive. Manuel with time, floats it beautifully for Little, and it's incomplete. Credit the corner, Dion, for staying with it, and Little didn't complete the act of the catch.
And I tell you, that's just good coaching there by their defensive backs coach. He's got the ball, but they're both fighting for it. He doesn't let it go until they're out of bounds.
Rolling on the field is an incomplete pass.
That's a heck of a job there, not giving up on the play.
Because once Little goes to the ground, he's got to complete the act of the catch. Dion had his hand on the football. Rex is going to throw the challenge flag. Or at least ask Jeff Triplett to come over.
And as a catch.
Little appears to secure it and get both feet down, but Dion is hanging on the ball.
Previous play.
And then as he goes to the ground, it comes out.
Let's see. You got two guys with the football there, Bob. By the time his second foot gets down, Dion's got the ball as well. All the way to the ground. He's out of bounds too, and the ball's out.
See, if Little holds the ball to the ground, then I think the ruling would be a simultaneous catch, which would go to the offense and it'd be a touchdown. But once that ball comes out, I think it's the correct call. Howard, you're down there. You got to look at it.
Guys, it's a very strange call. Think about this. If the DB is dragging both knees, if he had caught the ball by himself, that would have been a catch. If Little would have caught the ball and took 2 steps through the end zone, that would have been a catch. But because they're tackled to the ground, the ball comes out, that's when the funky rule comes in.
Yeah, in the end zone, the rules are still applying.
So right here, Little has the ball, gets the second foot down, but now Dion's holding on for dear life, trying to rip it out. And then Little goes to the ground and the ball comes out.
This will be a fun one when they explain it.
So for the third time today, Jeff Triplett has to review something. Dante Dion, rookie out of Boise State, feisty player, gives away a lot of size, 5'9", 158 pounds.
Feisty's the operative word on that particular play because he got in it and fought for the ball all the way down to the ground.
Take a look at it one more time as Little beat him off the line. Beautiful throw by E.J. Manuel.
He gets his hand in there and fights for the football. Let's hear what he has to say here.
All right, Jeff Triplett will give us the ruling. Ruled on the field incomplete.
After review, the ruling on the field stands.
So a nice job by Dion of staying with the play and forcing the incompletion. Again, when Little went to the ground, if Little does not lose that football, it would have been a simultaneous catch and it would have been a touchdown in my opinion.
And that's the way they've set the rules up based on a lot of things that happened in the end zone last year. Guys catching the ball, holding it for a second, getting it knocked out.
Jordan Gay, who missed an extra point off the right upright, will try a 37-yard field goal. And he hits the right upright again.
He's got to recalibrate his compass there.
Dan Carpenter is the incumbent. Gay trying to not only maybe earn a spot here, but maybe with another team, isn't doing himself any favors for job security elsewhere in the NFL.
Both in the same spot.
Going to look at it one more time. The extra point went off the right upright, and that was more than a fade, Carl. Anybody that likes to golf knows that that was more of a slice.
I know a lot about that.
Check in with Howard Cross on the sideline.
Guys, in pregame, he did that about 4 times in pregame, which was pretty funny. I thought he was trying to do it on purpose, but I'm assuming not.
No, I don't think you want to do that on purpose. Paul Perkins in a tailback for the Giants, the rookie 5th-round draft pick out of UCLA at tailback. Nassib with time. Pass incomplete. Corey White knocked it away. Well, Buffalo and wide right, not something that when you're in Western New York people want to hear. Super Bowl 25.
Yeah, we'll keep that one hush-hush while we're here. Talk about it on the bus.
Well, we're showing on our telecast. Giants fans love it. Super Bowl 25, wide right, Scott Norwood. 2nd and 10 for Nassib. Under pressure, sack, fumbled. Recovered by Buffalo. Sterling Moore came flying in off the corner.
That's what you call a blindside shot, Bob. He telegraphed it too. Will Ty released. No one to take the blitzers. Ty's got to look at that guy before he checks out. And he ran a hot route for the blitz. But if the blitz is coming to your side, it negates the route.
Dolphus Washington, the rookie third-round pick, with the fumble recovery. So that's the second turnover by the Giants here in the first half. And now Buffalo, with 24 seconds to go in the half, will try to add to that 13-0 lead. DJ Manuel going to try that fade again for Little, and this time he's got the touchdown. Same play. Beat Dion this time.
Yep. Put a little more air under the football on that one too. Threw it at the pylon. He runs straight to the pylon. He puts it up under there, and there's no way he can defend it. Dion said he was pushed, but that's just a good throw and a good route.
But beat him right off the line,
yep,
and created that separation. And Dion, who made a nice play on the last one, gets beat that time for the 19-yard touchdown pass. So another fumble results in another score. Buffalo has converted both Giants' fumbles into scores, touchdowns.
This offensive line, including the tight ends, they've got to be a lot better.
Carl, they had a handful of the starters still in there.
Well, yeah,
on the offensive line.
Will Ty with a lot of experience. He played a lot last year. He recognized the blitz, but he didn't recognize it as coming to his side. He ran a route, a little hot route for the blitz, but the blitz is coming over him. He's got to block it.
Buffalo's going to go for two here. They'll use a timeout with 18 seconds to go in the first half. In a first half to forget for the New York Giants.
Yeah. You'll see Will Ty.
Well, no, this is Buffalo's.
Oh, this is Buffalo here. Oh, that's just a fade route there.
And that resulted in the touchdown. Little. We'll show the play that set it all up. The fumble by Nassib on the sack from Sterling Moore. 2-point conversion. E.J. Manuel buys enough time and finds Desmond Lewis for the 2-point conversion.
Good protection up front by the Buffalo Bills offensive line. There's no penetration here. He goes from one side of the field to the middle all the way to the opposite side. You have that much time to throw the football.
All right, Carl, we're going to go back to the fumble and the sack on Nassib by Sterling Moore. Because Flowers and Ty are right there.
Here's Ty. Now watch this guy walk up into the line of scrimmage. Now here's Ty. He runs a hot route again. If a guy walks right up to you, he's your guy. You can't run the hot route because the blitz is over you.
Well, let me ask you this too, Carl. Is that on Nassib as well? He sees where it's coming from, to not look at Ty releasing and just dump it to him?
Well, I don't know. It was a blindside shot, so he wasn't even looking to that side.
Those are all questions that will be answered by head coach Ben McAdoo as far as what went wrong on that play. But Ty released, Moore came in, got the sack and forced fumble.
Yeah, you can't release when the guy's right over here and your tackle is covered. If your tackle's uncovered, then you can release and the tackle will take it.
Short kick, that's a live ball. The Giants don't field it. And it's Giants football. Oh, big mistake there on special teams. Rainey didn't race up to catch it.
Rainey has struggled all day. In warm-ups, he was bobbling. This one, he must have thought it was a punt. Gonna let it roll. No, he tries to go get it, but got to be up under the football on that.
And then the mad scramble underneath. One of the Giants fell on it to protect the possession. Well, there are a lot of things that have to be corrected, Carl.
And these are fundamental things. You can game plan a lot, but then if you have fundamental breakdowns, that's what worries the coach most.
So the Giants have more penalty yards than
We're
yards on
reviewing the
offense.
previous play.
Now they're going to review the last play. Any turnovers, change of possessions. A review. It was a short kick, water kick, but doesn't Rainey have to do everything under his power to race up and try to field that ball on the fly?
You can't allow the ball to hit the ground. You just can't. He's got to go dive in there. Well, he's trying, giving effort, but boy, he's got to get up under a mortar kick.
Take a look at it. Looks like one of the Giants is sliding on the bottom of that pile to try to secure the football. Nice Shaq Williams. So Jeff Triplett will give us the ruling. Ruled possession for the Giants.
The ruling on the field is confirmed. First down.
People affected by severe weather and other disasters need help now. To support those impacted by disasters like the floods in Louisiana and countless other crises, text Red Cross 90999 to give $10 to the American Red Cross Disaster Relief. All of our thoughts and prayers go out to those in Louisiana dealing with all the flooding.
Absolutely.
Nassib's going to just take a knee, and the Giants are going to go to the locker room down 21-0. Not able to get any kind of run game going. Odell Beckham Jr. had a 22-yard catch on the opening series, but that was about it for the Giants. Coming up during halftime, we'll see a feature on Giants players involved in youth football camps and much more. With the Bills in front, 21-0 at the half. Orchard Park, Ryan Nassib warming up. He will start the second half for the Giants. Got in the second quarter. Giants down 21-0. Quiet day for the Giants offensively. Not able to get any points on the board here against the Bills. The best drive the Giants had all day was the opening drive, but they failed on a 4th and 3 in Buffalo territory. And after that, virtually nothing. And it all starts with their inability to run the ball. Just a moment ago, Howard Cross spoke with the head coach of the Giants, Ben McAdoo.
Hey, Coach, man, tough first half. But tell me, what do you see positive in the first half?
Well, right now we're playing sloppy, and I'd like to put a positive spin on it, but there's nothing positive to say right now. We're putting ourselves in some bad situations, and it's we're hurting ourselves. It's nothing that we're seeing across the field right now. We need to take advantage of our opportunities.
How about the run game, Coach? What are you going to do, or what do you think you can do to get the run game kicked off?
Well, it's tough when you're behind the chains. We're either getting penalties or getting free hitters at the point of attack. They're doing some line movements. We need to tighten up our aiming points, have better fundamentals.
The last thing, Coach, your defense got a lot of plays now. I think you got some positives there.
Yeah, no question. The defense got a lot of plays. They had a nice stop down there in the goal line. They were flying around a little bit, but it's a hot day, and we need to fight through some of this humidity, and the offense didn't help them out, too many 3-and-outs.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. Back to you.
Howard tried to put a little spin on it. Coach would have nothing of it.
No, he wouldn't.
As far as some of the positive offensively, really none to point of. The starting defense looked pretty good early in the game. Dan Carpenter is going to kick it off for Buffalo to start this third quarter. Andre Williams and Bobby Rainey are back deep. Rainey will run it out. Tackled short of the 20-yard line, 21-yard return. So we'll set the Giants offense for you as we start this third quarter. See if they can get anything going with a running game with the backups in there. Ryan Nassib got sacked, fumbled the ball late in the first half. Bobby Hart, you see number 68, who started the game at left guard, is in now at right tackle. Emmett Cleary is in at the right guard. Brett Jones in at center. Set the left side for you after this snap. Nikita Whitlock in at fullback. Andre Williams, who fumbled earlier, gets the carry, and Williams fights for 10 and out to about the 33-yard line. Nice productive run there, 15 yards for Andre Williams.
Yeah, stretch play there to the right side, and they blocked it up well. Natural seams on the stretch play. Good vision by Williams.
Ryan Seymour is in at left guard, and Byron Stingley is the left tackle here to start the second half. So that's the Giants' offensive line set for you here to start the third quarter. 1st and 10 for Nassib from his own 33. Flag on the play as he completes the pass to Roger Lewis, who gets knocked out of bounds at the 38-yard line. Gain of 6, but we'll check the flag. And it's against the Giants.
Can't start on negative downs, negative plays.
Illegal formation, offense. Right tackle's not up on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
It's Bobby Hart.
Not on the line of scrimmage.
You know, Coach McAdoo said to Howard Cross, you know, we're behind the chains constantly, all these penalties. So you get a nice run by Andre Williams. Now you're trying to get something going and immediately you commit a procedural penalty, which creates a 1st and 15. Screen dropped by Williams, and we get flags.
Ran a twist over there by Bobby Hart and turned the guy loose on the quarterback again.
Personal foul, roughing the passer. Number 74 in the defense. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Leger Douzable, who spent time with the Giants, was with the Jets the last couple of years, called for the penalty. And he went at the knees of the quarterback. You cannot do that. One thing if you're blocked down, but he launched at the knees of Ryan Nassib. And that's going to be a penalty every day. Douzable in the 7th year out of Central Florida. Williams, the tailback, on a 1st and 10. Not a lot of room off that right side. Albright shut it down, and then Hawthorne rallied to the football to make the tackle for Buffalo. Gain of a yard.
Hart got rolled a bit. He's limping. Here he is. Good reach block. Bill went right into his leg. Spikes.
Brandon Spikes. Got him. Hart remains in. 2nd and 9. Nowhere to run for Perkins. No gain on the play.
Ran right behind Bobby Hart there. And at the initial point of attack, it was pretty good. And he lost his block.
Matt Lacoste has checked in for the Giants. 3rd and 9 for Nassib. The opening possession of the third quarter. 2 deep safety look for Buffalo. Perkins, the tailback. Nassib's going to run it, and then a little spin and goes down. Nobody open downfield, and it's a gain of 3.
Yeah, no one's open. Outside on the sideline there is covered. Other sideline there, Lewis Jr. is covered. He has a pocket to step up into, but no one to throw the ball to.
So the Giants will punt again. Brad Wing set to go. Walter Powell back deep. Beautiful punt that time by Wing. Is bounded at the 5. Let's see where they mark it out. Mark it out right at that 5-yard line. So an effective punt by Brad Wing of 48 yards, no return. Giants trailing by 21 here in the third. That announcement was brought to you by the law firm of McCarter & English LLP, providing legal services to the New York Giants for more than 25 years. Counsel of choice to major businesses in New York, New Jersey, and the Northeast for over 170 years. Find them online at mccarter.com. Buffalo Wings, that is the birthplace of the Wings. Anchor Bar here in Buffalo. We had a lot of fun there last year during the regular season. Not a lot of fun for Ryan Nassib and the Giants right now on the short end of a 21-0 score. Cardell Jones in at quarterback 4th-round pick out of Ohio State. James Wilder, the tailback. Jones got big arm. He's going to throw it on 1st down. Completes it to Little. And that's a gain of 11. Sideline report brought to you by New York Lottery. Hey, you never know. Send it down to Howard.
Hey, I'm standing here with the starting center, Weston Richburg. Tough start, but tell me something positive you could take from today.
Well, I think we were physical somewhat inside. That's what we want to do as an offensive line, be physical. We want to work on our finishes downfield, try to open up some holes for our backs better.
So I know you got a new head coach, but you also have a new offensive line coach. Can you talk about him a little bit?
He's been great. He pays attention to the small details, and that's carried over to us. It's been fun working with him for the short amount of time we've had. I'm really looking forward to the season with him.
Now, one thing everybody keeps talking about is the running game. What do you think you guys can do to get the running game started?
Hey, we got to pay attention to those small details, like I was talking about. Pay attention to our aiming points, our hand placement, where our feet are, and then be physical. Be physical and finish.
Hey, Weston, man, thanks for taking the time.
Appreciate it, guys. Thank you.
Back to you.
All right, Weston Richburg. Carl, I know it's only preseason game number 2, and Weston obviously not going to overreact, but I think if you watch the game, I think you want to see a little bit more, right, out of the run game, being a little bit more consistent.
Well, considering the way they finished the season last year, you would think they would build upon that, but it looks like they've gone backward, and it is, and they'll say it's getting late early because they're going to play one more game, and they've got to start to get some things together because what they put on film is what teams will see. And you can't practice the way that you can simulate and practice the way you can play in a game.
Gronkowski, the fullback, converted that short yardage situation. So 1st and 10 for Buffalo. Wilder, the tailback. He had a nice run during that Weston Richburg interviews. Curry missed the tackle. Jones with time, wide open. Down the left sideline to Desmond Lewis. And he's got a 1st down, gain of 19.
Yeah, good move off the line of scrimmage. Corner settled. Safety didn't come over. Good throw there by Cardell Jones.
Curry gave the receiver Lewis a whack, but not until it was a 19-yard pickup to midfield. First and 10 for Buffalo. Wilder picks up 3 off the right side of the line as the Giants did a nice job shutting that down. Let's set some of the lineup here for you for the Giants and the defensive players that are on the field. See Montori Hughes in at one of the defensive tackle spots. See B.J. Goodson, number 93, in at linebacker. Romeo Okwara, number 78, one of the defensive ends, with Stanley's Mapunga, the other defensive end, number 71. Maybe Dion, one of the corners. Okwara getting pressure, hits the quarterback Jones and forces the incompletion. Romeo Okwara was one of the players that Coach McAdoo talked about yesterday in our meeting with him.
Yeah, that was good pursuit by him too, coming all the way off the block and just pursuing down the line of scrimmage. You see him there coming from the backside.
Should point out number 96, Jay Bromley, is in the game. He started preseason on the PUP list. Bromley, a 3rd-round pick out of Syracuse, now in his 3rd year. Played in 16 games last year with 4 starts. Victor Cruz got a little work in today during warm-ups. McAdoo feels everything's on or close to schedule with Victor. Jones floats one out of bounds, incomplete into double coverage as Burhay was there on the coverage from a safety spot, as well as Michael Hunter.
Yeah, it was a good play on the ball there by Burhay.
Colton Schmidt in the punt. Bobby Rainey back deep for the Giants. About midway through this 3rd quarter, Bills scored 21 in the 1st half. Punt drifts to the sideline. Let's see where they spot it out.
14-yard line. 33-yard punt, no return. Giants down by 21. Giants preseason football is brought to you in part by your Tri-State Kia dealers. Announcing the Kia top quality sales event. Visit TriStateKiaDealers.com to learn more. Today's Rookie Spotlight brought to you by Kia. There is Roger Lewis Jr. Started 27 of 28 games at Bowling Green. Undrafted free agent. Had 2,600 yards, 23 touchdowns, 158 catches, 6 foot, 196 pounds. Carl, how hard is it, though, to evaluate these wide receivers when you're in third and forevers and 3 and outs?
Well, you got to look at the route running. You got to look at the effort in blocking. And if they have the opportunity to catch the ball, they have to do that. But it's also a function of special teams. If you want to be one of the 5 receivers on the roster, that's a good route there.
And then Lewis can't hang on to the football.
He ran a great route there, came out of the break really good. If we're talking about a spotlight, there it is. Exhibit A comes out, ball's there, didn't hold on to it though. Had to get evaluated the route and then the catch, or lack thereof.
Corey White might have gotten a hand in there, but that's one you expect your receiver to secure when you have a beat inside. So 2nd and 10 for Nassib and the Giants. Giants being shut out right now, midway through the 3rd. Nassib almost stepped into that sack by Duzable.
Yeah, he climbed the pocket, eyes downfield. Basically tripped right into Duzable. Here he is here, climbs up the pocket.
So it'll be 3rd and 9, Nassib 0 for 5. Duzable gets pressure, and then Perkins can't handle the reception, so the Giants will have to punt. Player interview brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. America runs on Dunkin' as we send it back down to Howard Cross.
I'm standing here with Olivier Vernon, man. Welcome to the Giants. You're getting some pressure on the quarterback early today. How did that go for you in the defense?
You know, it just felt good. You know, everybody coming out. It was a little warm out here today. You know, so we had to get start fast pretty much, and we knew we had to come out and stop that run. You know, especially against a team that loves to run the ball. So just glad everybody pretty much came out healthy right now for the most part.
Hey man, thank you so much, and we really appreciate you coming out.
Thank you.
Olivier Vernon off to a fast start in his time with the Giants.
False start. Numbers 51, center.
And Jason Pierre-Paul, they've looked good so far as the Giants get called for a false start on the punt, but
very disruptive, those two, and the combination of the guys inside, I call them the formidable 4. They can really make a difference this year.
Wing, good spiraling kick, sends Powell all the way back to the 35-yard line. And nowhere for Powell to go as the Giants pursue nicely to the football. Buffalo's offense back out on the field, up 21-0. Victor Cruz sitting on the Giants bench. Victor got a little bit of work and hasn't played since October the 12th, 2014 in Philadelphia when he tore the patella. Carl, last summer in Cincinnati, he looked really good until he injured his calf, which caused him to miss another year. And then he was out on the field today going through warm-ups with his team.
Well, and that's good news, too, because they will need him back. And their hope is that he comes back to help them. But he does have to earn a spot on the roster, and given the guys behind him, he has a good shot to make the team, but he wants to be, and they want him to be, a major contributor.
And Carl, one of the things is we've seen with these young receivers, nobody's really distinguished himself in this game or last week all that much, that if you're Victor Cruz, you're looking at it, I mean, he's not getting pushed because the opportunities are being squandered.
I don't think the Giants are going to allow him, and I don't think that's his mentality, but to be held hostage in waiting for him to get healthy. They're going to want to see him on the field because the receiver crop is just not limited to what's on this roster or that's trying out for this roster. If they need a receiver, they're going to go get one that they feel that can help them.
We'll see if Victor Cruz can ramp up practice this week and play next week when the Giants
take on the Jets. No gain for Wilder on the last run. Jones a little high with it. Powell with the reception. Burhay comes down hard along with Herzlich to bring him to the ground after a gain of 4. Tune into MSG Network, TV home of the Giants all season long. Weekly lineup, Giants 1st and 10, presented by Stop and Shop. That'll debut on Friday the 9th. That'll get you all set for the Giants opener against Dallas. Giants post-game live after the game. Giants press conference live every Wednesday. You'll hear from Coach McAdoo, and Giants Chronicles debuts on Saturday, September the 10th, presented by New York Presbyterian. 3rd and 6 for Jones, third quarterback used by Buffalo. Play clock at 5. Jones feels the pressure, had his helmet knocked off by Okwara. And once the helmet comes off, the play is dead. No longer can you continue to.
That is his welcome into the NFL. In college, you can step up in there and run and don't have to worry about that backside hit coming. But boy, he took a shot.
See, Romeo Okwara came in and delivered the big hit, and then you see the size of Jones at 250. He didn't go down.
No, he didn't. He'd be best advised to do so next time, though.
From a couple of years ago, Jason Witten running down the field with no helmet on.
Yeah.
The league changed that. Once the helmet's off, play's over. Schmidt, punt. Rainey to his own 11. Rainey tripped up at the 31-yard line by Jarrett Boykin. Eli Manning just watching here in the 3rd. Giants trying to get on the board, down 21-0 here in Buffalo, New York. Preseason football is brought to you by the Hess Toy Truck. The 2016 Hess Toy Truck will be back and better than ever later this year. Sign up for alerts at HessToyTruck.com so you don't miss out. Back at New Era Field, the ball is being brought back. We did not see a penalty flag on the Rainey punt return, but evidently there was another flag against the Giants, so they moved the ball back to the 5. Let's set this offensive line for you, because we've talked about the struggles that, and here's
there was
Jeff
a foul
Copeland.
during the kick on the previous play. The receiving team was blocking a kicking player out of bounds in the white. That is a personal foul against the receiving team. We will penalize half the distance of the goal from the end of the kick, which is the 11-yard line. First down, New York Giants.
And just another penalty today. Once the guy is blocked out of bounds, you can't keep blocking him when he's out of bounds. So here's the offensive line. Emmett Cleary is now in at right tackle. Adam Geddes is in at left guard.
The fouling player was number 47.
Brett Jones is the center. No, Dylan Farrell's in at center. Ryan Seymour is the left guard. Byron Stingley is the right tackle. You know, Carl, we talk about the starting offensive line, which has their own issues, but who are going to be the backups that you can count on to step into a game if you have to put them in during the course of the game if someone gets hurt? That remains unknown at this point.
Well, they're hoping that Hart can at least make some type of showing for himself.
Carl, I mean, Andre Williams, as soon as he got the football, there were 3 Bills right in his lap.
Yeah, and it's another conundrum this team has, because you're trying to evaluate running backs too. There are a lot of running backs in your stable outside of Jennings. What do you have? Who do you want to keep? Well, you can't evaluate them when they're all going backwards and they can't get out of the way as soon as they get the ball handed off to them.
So Williams loses a couple. Lacoste in motion. 2 tight end set. The rookie Adams is also in. Williams barely gets out of the end zone, and he loses a little more yardage.
Yeah, I mean, they're teeing off right now, Buffalo.
It looked like Lacoste missed his tackle. You know, and we've been talking about the offensive line, but one thing that we illustrated to you earlier in the game that's a problem is the tight ends are part of that run blocking,
yes,
and they have been ineffective today.
Yeah, they're part of what you would consider, and especially in pass protection, they're part of that offensive line.
Giants are averaging 1.8 yards per carry. 3rd and 12 for Nassib. Pass is low and incomplete. The ball hit the ground. Carl, it's just been a real struggle for the offense. Nowhere to run at all.
There are lots of negative plays there. Quarterback goes down, no blocking, bad communication, poor technique. Can't feel comfortable going into, and there's a blindside shot there. No adjustment made whatsoever. So you can't feel comfortable going into the first game of the season with these types of mishaps happening. They've got to get it shored up.
Wing knocks it over the head of Powell. And then the Giants, Zach Diassi will touch it down at the 40-yard line after a 56-yard punt, no return. Rough day for the Giants offense, especially trailing 21-0 here in Buffalo. Season football is brought to you by MetLife, the official insurance company of the New York Giants. Back in Buffalo, Giants offense not able to get anything going today. Ryan Nassib not able to get anything going today. He's 0 for 7 as far as throwing the ball. Carl, he's most effective when he throws inside the numbers. Anything that's gone to the outside looks like the ball sort of loses some mustard on it. But then when he threw a good slant route to Roger Lewis Jr.,
didn't help him out, right? Yeah. But, you know, Nassib has got to be able to make the throws to the outside, too. That means he's got to step into his throws more. And Coach McAdoo believes he can make those throws, or else he wouldn't be calling those types of plays.
Noah Dickey-Zua back in one of the defensive end spots. Buffalo's Jonathan Williams runs the other way.
Flag.
And there's a flag, and in the vicinity of holding, gain of 6.
Holding, number 86, offense. 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Blake Onen, tight end for Buffalo.
See with a penalty right there on the inside, holding.
Stanley's Mapunga was held. Mark Herzlich in at one of the linebackers with B.J. Goodson for the Giants. Cardell Jones, the quarterback for Buffalo, faces a 1st and 20. Got to keep you updated on the Giants' defensive players on the field. Jones, fastball, nice quick tackle made on Nick O'Leary by B.J. Goodson. Nick O'Leary, the tight end out of Florida State, made the catch. He's the grandson of the greatest golfer, Jack Nicklaus.
Wow. B.J. Goodson's a thumper. When he gets to you, he lays a smack on you. He kind of reminds me a bit of Jeremiah Trotter, the old linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. They're just very explosive, compact, just unloads on you.
Montori Hughes and Jay Bromley are the defensive tackles for the Giants on the 2nd and 16. Ishaq Williams in one of the linebacker spots. Jones throwing the seam. And he had on it just a couple inches out of the fingertips.
Yeah, not much pressure that time, and they got B.J. Goodson in a foot race there with the tight end up the seam. It's clean pocket. There's Goodson chasing, not in good position there.
Giants have number 39, Michael Hunter, a rookie free agent out of Oklahoma State, in at corner.
You know, one of the things the young linebackers will learn, if they've got coverage on the tight end, they might want to get their hands on them early because they ain't going to beat them in a foot race. So got to jam them up at the line of scrimmage.
Hunter wears number 39. He's in for Dion, who got picked on. Jones is going to get called for intentional grounding as he just threw it. He was inside the tackle box and he just heaved it out of bounds. I think that's what the call is here from Jeff Triplett.
Intentional grounding. Number 7, offense. That penalty is enforced at the spot of the foul. It's more than 10 yards. Loss of down, 4th down.
It's a loss of down. They'll enforce the penalty, and Buffalo will have to punt the football away. Robbie Rainey back deep for the Giants. Colton Schmidt in to punt for Buffalo.
with 2:05 to go in the third quarter. Returnable ball for Rainey from his own 32. Picks up the block. Trying to turn the corner. Gets in Bills territory. Finally scampers out of bounds at the Buffalo 43-yard line. Coach Ben McAdoo trying to bring some different ideas to practice and some new ways and tools. You got the quarterbacks handling the football and using a soccer ball, especially on special teams. Those balls trickling toward the end zone. You want to keep it in the field of play to create field position.
Yeah, the one thing he's got, well, he knows that this team has got to learn, no matter what the methods, the fundamentals are still the same. You got to be disciplined, you got to be able to block, and you got to be able to tackle.
Darius Powell in at one of the wide receivers, number 86, at the bottom of your screen. Nassib to throw on first down. Has time, completes it to the tight end, Terrell Adams, the rookie out of South Carolina, 6th-round pick. Carl, he's a raw talent, 6'5", 247 pounds. Kind of learning a lot of the concepts as far as the NFL is concerned.
And Coach McAdoo says keep your eye on him because he's got a quick twitch. That means he's an explosive, fast, quick guy. So for his size, he may not be ready yet, but they've got high hopes for him if he can catch on to the style of pro football.
Picked up 9 on first down. Perkins picks up the first down. But take a look at Terrell Adams, fastest tight end in the draft. It stretched the seam. Right now they feel that his blocking is ahead of his receiving game.
Well, here he is here, Bob. You'll see him come through and clean out. Just good effort, gets his big body in there, cleans out the hole.
And that's good enough for Perkins to get the first
down
for the Giants.
You got a big body, you put your big body in the hole and let the backs do the rest.
Both start. Number
so that's a he's a willing participant.
Didn't catch the number. Was it on Adams?
He's coming out of the game. I'm not sure.
So again, another one of those pre-snap penalties. As Coach mentioned at halftime, getting behind the chains. 1st and 15. Followed the positive play with a negative one. Perkins nowhere to run as he gets engulfed by LeVar Edwards. Wayne Harris left the game with a knee injury, came back out on the field. Seems to be okay. Kale Thompson, a concussion when he got hit by his teammate Lewis Nix. That'll be the final play of the third quarter. Odell played early and a 22-yard catch, and that was it. Bills lead the Giants 21-0 as we'll bring you the fourth quarter when we return to Orchard Park after this. Preseason football is brought to you by Taco Bell. Get your Giants schedule cup right now at Taco Bell. Giants game time is Taco Bell time. Winning never tasted so good. Well, send your photos to NY Giants on Instagram. Hashtag Giants Pride. Love to see Giants fans enjoying the game or in the stadium. Always a lot of fun. Last week, Carl and I posted something from the booth at MetLife Stadium. We start the fourth quarter. All Bills. They lead it 21-0. Giants will have 2nd and 14 at the Buffalo 35-yard line. Perkins remains the tailback. Nassib remains the quarterback. Ryan Malik out of Point Pleasant, New Jersey, in at one of the tight ends. Flexed left. Nassib's pass knocked away by Corey White, intended for Roger Lewis Jr.
Lewis rounds off his route there. Defender got a good break on it.
That'll set up 3rd and 14 for the Giants in the opening seconds of the fourth quarter. Malik goes in motion. Rookie free agent out of Virginia Tech. Nassib feels pressure. He'll get sacked. LeVar Edwards gets a half a sack, along with Troy Bierman, the former Atlanta Falcon, loss of 5.
Yeah, it looked like he had an opportunity there. He stepped up. Perkins came across the formation, to help with the pickup of the blitz. He steps up. Nowhere to go. Looking down the field there, there's coverage all down the field too. Got a late crosser come there, but he was on the ground by then.
Brad Wing getting a lot of work. Reverse spin. Powell calls for a fair catch and fields it at the 6. So the Giants offense not able to get on the board so far here today. Bob Papa, Carl Banks, so glad you can join us from the New York Presbyterian broadcast booth. And Carl, one of those situations here where you talk about the point of attack and being able to control the line of scrimmage, and the Giants not able to do that. How do you get this all fixed going to preseason game number 3, which is the big one, the final dress rehearsal?
Well, the emphasis has to be on fundamentals at this point, Bob. When you see guys getting beat to the inside, just dropping their heads, closing their eyes, you got to focus on the little things. And I think Richburg talked a little bit about that. It's the little things in your technique that have to assure your success, and they're just not doing a great job of it.
Bobby Hart started at left guard with Justin Pugh not playing today, then got reps at right tackle. Ryan Nassib not able to get anything really going with the Giants offense since coming in for Eli Manning in the second quarter. James Wilder, the tailback, picked up 4 on first down, 2nd and 6. Cardell Jones and the Bills. Not a lot of room there as the Giants front closed quickly. Curry came down from a safety spot to get one of the hits on Wilder. Justin Curry spent last year on injured reserve as Trevin Wade comes in as a nickel back. 87 degrees at kickoff, rare afternoon preseason game. Steve Spagnuolo, the defensive coordinator.
Offense, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
Bills get a penalty here for having too many guys in the huddle.
Got to make this 3rd and 5 or 3rd and 10. Ron Coleman, number 62, in one of the tackle spots. Odigizua has moved to the tackle spot on this pass rushing situation. Number 58. Jones for throw on 3rd and 10. Clean pocket, shallow cross, and able to hook up with Walter Powell. Dragged down by Trevin Wade, but enough for a first down. Well, no pass rush and nothing in the face of the quarterback, which made it an easy catch and throw and catch.
Yeah, Digizua got washed to the right side of the quarterback. He tried to take an inside move, and they were waiting on it, and they just washed him out, and that's where the quarterback stepped up.
They needed 10. They got 11. 1st and 10, Buffalo. Williams in an eye set. Excuse me, that's Boone Herron. He moves the pile forward to the 24-yard line, picks up 7. Coleman finally got him to the ground. So, Carl, as we're in the 4th quarter, evaluation process going on. You see a lot of these guys out there getting snaps, getting reps.
Right.
Next week, the starters are supposed to play into the 3rd quarter. This might be a last chance to show something if they want to catch the coach's eye and have a chance to make the team.
Well, yeah, and there are a couple situations like Odigizua is getting valuable experience by playing more minutes. A guy like Nat Berhe has got to impress the coaches that he belongs as a safety on this roster. And then the other young players that is trying to find a spot, they've got to show effort. They've got to show that they can do some of the things that they're asked to do correctly, even though they may get blocked and may not complete a play, but they've got to show that they're progressing in taking the teaching that's given to them. A guy like Ishak Williams, he's a kid that they think can play, but he's got to show a grasp of what they can do. He gives you good effort, though.
O'Leary in motion comes set. Gronkowski takes the handoff and surges forward and gets the first down. Out across the 30-yard line. Ishaq Williams out of Brooklyn, New York. Free agent out of Notre Dame.
Tall, rangy.
He's out of football the last couple years. Trying to get the most of his opportunity here with the Giants.
Yeah, he's a guy that can develop. He's got the body.
First and 10 for Buffalo from the 31 with Wilder at the tailback. Under 10 minutes to go in the ball game. Jones, Powell, and then a big play down the sideline. And Carl, they just keep going at Dante Dion and taking advantage of him.
Yeah, they're going to try to take advantage of his size. He's got to squeeze the wide receiver into the line, into the out of bounds line. But that's a great throw by Cardell. I mean, he put the ball only where the receiver could catch it. Did a good job there. Outside. He doesn't catch it, it's going out of bounds. Not much you can teach on the cornerback there other than just stay a little closer to him, but that's just a heck of a throw.
So first and 10 after the 31-yard pickup. Jones to throw again. Got some late pressure, just heaves it downfield, and the pass is intercepted by Cooper Taylor.
Where you talk about a guy who needed a good play, that's Cooper Taylor. He's been kind of struggling to impress these coaches. He's got like freakish size. He's 6'4", 6'5".
Some late pressure. Jones just heaved it up. Cooper Taylor got the interception for the Giants. Taylor with the interception for the Giants. Well, the Giants will start first and 10 inside their own 5-yard line. Cooper Taylor, drafted by the Giants a couple years ago. 5th-round pick in 2013. Played in 6 games last year. Actually got cut and put on the practice squad. The year before was on injured reserve. Nassib remains in at quarterback. We'll reset the offensive line for you after the snap. Rainey with room. Rainey in a foot race. Rainey across midfield. Rainey shoved out of bounds in Buffalo territory at about the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that one goes right up the middle. Now that's something positive they can put on film. Just look at this area here. It's nice and clean. He's very patient. Good footwork, good vision. Finds a hole and he goes.
Gain of 70 yards. Let's see, they're going to spot it at the 30. So 67-yard run for Bobby Rainey.
Running backs coach Craig Johnson making a note of that.
Good job of blocking up front.
And the thing about that is they don't have to be perfect. They just got to get in the way.
Timeout. Giants.
Giants are going to call a timeout. So the Giants trying to get some points on the board with 8:13 to go here in the 4th, trailing 21-0. Bobby Rainey with a 67-yard run. Good football is brought to you by the Hess Toy Truck. The 2016 Hess Toy Truck will be back and better than ever later this year. Sign up for alerts at HessToyTruck.com so you don't miss out. Get a look at the Giants' offensive line. And you got Byron Stingley at left tackle. Brett Jones has moved over to left guard. Giants have Dylan Farrell in at, Shane McDermott in at center. Adam Geddes is at right guard. And Emmett Cleary is the right tackle. Nassib avoids some pressure. Fastball over the middle and completes it to KJ May, a rookie free agent out of Minnesota. He gets taken down at the 12-yard line, gain of 17.
And that's a good job there by Nassib. You'll see he starts to step up in the pocket. He climbs, but he steps right into his throw.
Carl, his best throws again inside the numbers that we've seen so far.
Yeah, that is a fact.
First and 10 for the Giants. That one sails away, intended for Tadon Boone, incomplete. Tadon Boone, a free agent out of LSU, broke into the league with St. Louis in 2014. 2nd and 10 at the 13. Again, Rainey the tailback. Rainey on the give, picks up 3, tackled at the 10. On the previous pass, one of the things you're always concerned about is your quarterback's hand on the follow through.
Yeah, he didn't get it on the helmet, got it right on the side of the shoulder pads there and almost in the face mask.
Third and 7. Giants trying to get on the board here in the 4th, down by 21. Massive time, nobody open, gets out of the tackle box and has to just throw it incomplete.
Yeah, he stayed on one side of the field with that. He didn't even look at the crosser coming on the backside, so it determined pre-snap where he wanted to go with that one.
So the Giants going to send out the field goal unit. There's Tom Obarski. Obarski originally entered the NFL as a free agent in 2014 with Cincinnati. Played his college ball at Concordia St. Paul. They were hoping to get him a bunch of opportunities. He's going to try a field goal here with Josh Brown being suspended for week 1 from 28 yards, and he hooks it left. So Obarski, chances are limited. The Giants need a kicker for week 1, and Obarski misses from 28 on his first attempt. The Giants were shut out in the preseason. Eli was still in college, and NASA was in grade school. 2001, they lost to the Patriots 14-0. It was interesting because the Giants had practiced with New England. And the Giants were coming off an appearance in the Super Bowl. And I remember they had practiced in New England against the Patriots that week and then played in the preseason game. And I remember the Patriots staff was, they're kind of measuring themselves against the Giants, who were the NFC champions, and they kind of looked at it and said, man, we got a long way to go to try to compete with the Giants. The Giants had a pretty good team, and lo and behold, that year, New England wound up going to the Super Bowl and winning it.
Yeah. Took notes and made the right adjustments based on their level of competition. Showed them where they need to go.
2nd and 6 for the Bills. Bennett Jackson's in at one of the safeties for the Giants, along with Andrew Adams. A little inside run. Brad Barr is in on the tackle. Howard Cross standing by with Shane Vereen.
I am standing here with Shane Vereen, man. Tough start to this game, but what do you expect for the season out of your run game?
I'm expecting better than we showed today. I know we're capable of it. I know we've been working hard at it, and hopefully, it'll show in the game time.
I know that the passing game also has been kind of getting started, just getting going with Eli and everything. As you guys go along into the first game of the season, what are you looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to getting this offense rolling, really start clicking, really starting to gel together and really put a good product on the field. I think in this offense, when we get rolling, it's fun to be in, it's fun to play, and it'll be fun to watch.
Do you ever think about being the featured back in this offense?
Everybody wants to be featured in this offense. There's a lot of plays out there to be made, a lot of yards. I'm happy to be a part of it. I'm happy to have a role in it.
Hey, Shane, thanks a lot, man.
Thank you very much.
Shane Vereen, who can add a lot to the Giants as far as the run and the pass game.
Yeah, he's a very versatile player and knows how to find the first down marker, that's for sure.
Wilder able to pick up the first down. You saw the rushing yards. 67 came on that one run by Rainey here in the 4th quarter. When it mattered, they weren't able to run it effectively at all. Nowhere to go for running back there as Jonathan Williams got engulfed. Adams came up from the safety spot. Jack Williams on the hit. So Carl, what do the coaches do here? You're going to take this game from, obviously there's a zillion things that need to be corrected and done better. How do you make sure that you don't panic?
Well, you don't panic. You have to take a sober assessment of where you are. You can't sugarcoat it, Bob. And then you go to your position coaches and you ask them for an honest evaluation. And then you either coach the guys that can be coached, or you've got to look to replace and upgrade at positions. But they can't sugarcoat what they're seeing out here. They've got to coach it. They've got to look at it. And every team in the league has the same issue this time. When there's a sloppy game, you can't panic, because panic makes you or causes you to make bad decisions. So if there are guys that you feel that can make a contribution, that their pros are better than their cons, then you coach them up and you tell them this is what has to happen.
Now you're going to look at Greg Millhouse, a rookie free agent out of Campbell. Started his college career at Appalachian State. He is trying to become the first player from Campbell in North Carolina to make an NFL team. Tremendous work ethic, great motor, great personality as Jones' pass gets deflected. Incomplete. Greg Millhouse, just 6'1", 295 pounds, but he's been a positive force and getting some reps here late.
He wants to stay on the radar. He wants to show up on film.
You know, maybe one of the reasons why he didn't get in earlier is because they've been happy with what they've seen from him and they wanted to see some of the other guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes you can't read into when you get the snaps because they might be thinking a little bit differently.
Especially if there's a guy who's doing positive things.
Rainey from his own 22. Knocked out of bounds as he took it across the 35-yard line. Giants have 3 minutes to go to try to get on the board, trailing 21-0 here in Buffalo. The drive of the game is brought to you by Toyota. Janoris Jenkins came on a blitz. Tyrod Taylor made a miss. Charles Clay was wide open downfield to be Keenan Robinson. Buffalo looking to go in, but then felt hit by Landon Collins, forces the fumble. Snacks Harrison recovers it in the end zone for a touchback. That is our drive of the game. Clearly, usually it's an offensive situation, but the Giants have done very little offensively. Logan Thomas now in at quarterback. Marshawn Coppridge, rookie free agent, in at tailback. Howe with the reception. Landon Collins very active today. He's standing by with Howard Cross.
Hey, man, first off, roll tide, like we always say. Hey, man, you guys did a great job from the, two safeties back there. You kind of run into things. Tell me what's changed between your first year and this year.
Just experience and knowledge of the game and film study, just knowing where I'm supposed to be at and where I can help at the most. And just doing that and being on the same page with my safeties and my DBs and my linebackers on the same page, it's easy, So.
You guys have been doing so great. You shut everybody down in the first game. This game you had a lot of plays. What's it like for the defense when you have that many plays?
Say that again?
I said, what's it like for the defense when you have so many plays?
Oh, just making sure we can get the right calls, be in the right position. Now it's about when we get more plays and we get more quarters. Now it's about just make sure we're in shape and that we have to win and that we can withstand the how many quarters, how many plays we play. Because the next game we're gonna play 3. Following game, same thing. Then we gotta get ready for that all 4 quarters after that. So just being on the same page throughout and not losing our composure.
Hey, last thing, you expect Alabama to win the national championship this year?
Of course, you know that. We just figure out our quarterback situation. I think they got that down pack and roll tide roll. You know that all the way.
Roll tide, man. Thanks a lot, Landon.
Landon Collins, clearly, you could see the improvement in his game from year 1 to year 2, and Logan Thomas throws the interception. Jonathan Dowling, during that Landon Collins interview, got the interception, and Carl rolling right, throwing back to the middle, never good things happening.
Well, his intended receiver fell down, so he came off of that and went back inside. He got to come off of that and throw it out of bounds.
Wilder picks up 2.
Here's your intended receiver right there.
Yeah, Powell slips.
So he comes off of him, you can see, and then he comes back across. That's never good news.
like he was looking for the tight end, but he was in all kinds of traffic as well. Third turnover for the Giants after turning it over 4 times last week, which is something that Ben McAdoo stressed he did not want to see. And the ball's been on the ground a couple other times since.
Well, penalties, turnovers.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning with Buffalo in front, 21-0. Manuel with time, floats it beautifully for Little, and it's incomplete. Credit the corner, Dion, for staying with it.
I tell you, that's just good coaching there by their defensive backs coach.
Dante Dion forcing that incompletion. Of course, fortunately for him, on the next series, they went right back at him after the Giants turned it over. They beat him on the same play. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Buffalo in front, 21-0. Wilder. Giants string it out, and then Adams gets him to the ground. Giants fans, it's your opportunity to be a part of the tradition. Become a New York Giants season ticket holder. Experience the excitement of Giants football. To become a Giants season ticket holder, call 201-935-5610. Go to Giants.com for more information. A lot of Giants fans here in Western New York enjoying the afternoon game, Kids Day, here at New Era Field in the main building here in Orchard Park.
AKA the Cap.
Calling it that's your nickname, huh? The Cap?
That's what they're calling it, the Cap. Rare Caps.
3rd and 5. Wilder. Nice job there by Greg Millhouse to make the hit and the tackle for a loss of a couple.
Yep, Millhouse right in the middle, right here. You see him get good penetration there. Sees the ball.
They're set. 30
attacks the ball.
And then he makes the tackle.
Yeah.
Next week, the Giants and Jets will square up. That game will be seen on CBS. It's a Jets home game. Saturday, August the 27th. And the Giants will wrap up their preseason the following Thursday when they host the New England Patriots. That game you'll see on NBC4 New York. And then the Giants open up the season in Dallas September the 11th on Fox. Great. 4:15 kickoff. Big NFC East showdown to start the year. Giants called the timeout with 1:08 to go. Schmidt to punt. Our producer Richie Zions and director Rich Russo and Rich Gross, they'll all be in Dallas with Fox. Bring you that broadcast. There's a look at the first 4 weeks. Giants and Cowboys. It feels like they open up every year against each other. 4:25 on Fox. Then the Giants will host the New Orleans Saints. It's a 1 o'clock kick. And Washington comes in for a 1 o'clock kick on Fox. And then the Giants will be in Minnesota to take on the Vikings on Monday Night Football on ESPN. That's the first 4 weeks of the season.
2 division and 1 conference, so those are 3 games that count, or 2 conference. Those are 4 games that count early on.
And a lot of work for this offense to get things going in the right direction. With 1 minute to go, being shut out here in Buffalo. Thomas picked off on his last pass. He'll throw on 1st and 10. Get some pressure early. Dumps it down to Boone. Boone out across the 30 to 33. Picks up 10. Adron Boone, 6 foot, 204 pounds. Spent time with
number 50, defense.
Philadelphia, St. Louis, and Indianapolis.
He's able to play as a first down.
Buffalo was offside.
He did not line up in the neutral zone. He just was offside.
So it'll be 1st and 10 for the Giants. Thomas overthrows his intended receiver and gets picked off again. Robert Blanton in his 5th year out of Notre Dame with the interception, playing that deep safety.
He lays it out there, puts too much on the ball, and the safety had more of a chance of it than the receiver.
Carl, that was what, classic cover 2 right there with the safety playing over the top?
Yep, absolutely.
Thomas didn't recognize it. Easy interception for Blanton. 4th turnover by the Giants.
Now Thomas is getting some valuable experience in understanding how pro defenses play.
Let me ask you this: should the Giant fans be concerned about the backup quarterback spot at this point? Thomas hasn't distinguished himself. Nassib has had his struggles right now.
Yeah, well, there have been a lot of mitigating factors here, considering the line play and all, but there are some things fundamentally that they can evaluate these quarterbacks. So I don't know if they're happy with it or not. Now, keep in mind, what we have at the backup position was part of the last regime. Now, I don't know if they are comfortable with it with this new regime. So we'll have to ask the coach that and see how he feels about the backup position.
Ben McAdoo wanted to see some improvement from last week. He's got to be tremendously disappointed, Carl, because it didn't look like there was a lot of improvement from the squad.
Well, no, it was not. Putting it bluntly, it was not. Quarterback came in, Eli, Odell, they connected, but not a lot happening after that.
The Giants fall to 0-2 in the preseason. Eli Manning got some work in, as was planned. Odell Beckham Jr. had 1 catch for 22 yards. The final score, the Buffalo Bills 21, the Giants nothing. For Carl Banks, Howard Cross, and our entire crew, I'm Bob Papa saying so long from Buffalo, where the Bills were victorious.